Hey, what's up, guys? Here on another episode of Eli and Mike, and we got somebody special here that just flew in from Las Vegas, Alexis Fawx.
Hi, everyone.
Loves it. Thank you.
We are so thrilled to have you. And honestly, starting from the WhatsApp app, right? The WhatsApp app.
Yes, right.
We met you through there, through Dr. Chow. And I was like, you know what? She seems so cool.
Yeah.
Okay, and let's be real. This is before I really got to know you a little bit more through your social medias. But you know what?
We love it.
The whole thing about you being so sweet and honoring us by being on this podcast. I was talking to Mike about that when we literally like fell in love in the text. Oh my gosh, she's so cool.
Right.
I told him about it. Like, get her on. I'm like,
right. Yes.
But,
yes.
You know,
we love good energies. How can you say no?
Yeah.
You know, it's rare. So you know.
And you have really good energy. And talking about that, you know, so you do a lot of creative stuff, a lot of fun stuff, and we're very creative in our own methods as well.
Definitely.
And you have this radiance about you, this energy that is very contagious. Let me be real.
Yes.
And this is our first time meeting,
Right.
guys. First time.
Right. And it
in
feels like
person.
it clicks already. Like we love it. We love it.
And there's this astonishing energy about you. So where does that come from? Did you always just come with energy?
Right.
You know, it's crazy. I am a high energy person. I really am. I learned that I have to exercise and work out. I box, I lift weights, I do all those things and my work to get some of that energy out.
Right.
And honestly, like, I think I didn't recognize how powerful that energy was when I was younger. And I think that's why I led me down to some paths that weren't always so good. Because I didn't know how to harness it properly. I didn't know this is what I need to do with this power, or I need to, shift it off of these different businesses and such.
Yes.
Now that I'm older and I've been able to recognize that having, so much energy and being a happy person, how to harness that into business and how it can affect the people that are around me, my fans, my family, my business partner, and to really use that in my benefit to push me forward and help me make money, help me make correct moves, and also keep a good crowd of people around me.
Right.
I love that.
This is so important.
Yeah.
And I run high energy as well. So when did you start being able to control this? Because I think, it takes a while for you to really lock on your superpower.
Honestly, I was maybe a late bloomer. I would definitely say in my later 30s, as I began to mature and take control of my life.
Yes.
And, you got to go through some things to, to build your character and to grow as a human being. And I definitely went through some of those things.
Yes.
We all do.
Right.
And I was just like, I kind of just really looked at my life and decided I had to take full control. And how do I make this work for me? And I realized through exercise, through really exhausting myself physically, allowed me to be a much more calm person in my rest of my day and the rest of my life. Okay. And coming from a more calm place helped me make better decisions in the long run, whether that's a business, whether that's in relationships, or however you want to take that.
Definitely.
I try never to make a decision, whether it's good or bad or whatever, in any high emotional energy situation. So whether I'm like in a good place or a bad place, I don't want to make a decision in there because you're making it really in flux of feelings, and feelings aren't always real, if you know what I mean.
Right.
We can feel one way one day and feel to the total opposite a week later.
Right.
So
I was like, that was me this morning.
Yeah,
but,
we all go through it.
Right.
We always have especially sometimes in the month. Let's just say.
Okay, exactly. No, for sure.
My business partner stays away for a reason.
There you go. Right. Yes,
like,
I love that. Yes.
But so I realized, so I'm a high energy person. If I could get some of this physical energy out, I'm much more productive on the other side, where I'm going to need it mentally and emotionally, right?
Right.
And it keeps me balanced.
Yeah.
I was kind of a late bloomer in that. And once I decided and figured that out, and that recipe for me and for my life, I really kind of just flew with it.
So you haven't always been like a fitness queen?
No.
Okay.
I got my dancing in the club.
Okay. There you go.
Yeah.
Man, I lived in Miami for 17 years.
Okay.
My exercise was like from midnight until 4 a.m.
Yes.
Dancing on a box.
There you go. Hey, at least you're gonna eat before, right? Because in Miami they have like the restaurants where you eat and then it turns into a club.
Oh yeah, the Cuban coffee will keep you up all night.
Oh my God.
Okay, we need to try this.
We have to try it.
Have you been to Miami? Have you had the
We
Cuban
have.
coffee?
Well, no, actually, no. We've been to Fort Lauderdale.
Right.
To Miami.
So
we're missing out.
I know we're missing out.
We got to take a trip to Miami.
We're going.
Yes,
we're going.
going.
Yeah. Till 4 a.m. Till 4 a.m. And it's an exercise too. So
Yeah, I considered it exercise back in the day.
Win-win.
And I love how you even said you captured your power, because if a lot of people can just capture their power and their talent and use it correctly, because I think a lot of people make bad decisions on just going forward on an immediate response action versus like, let me put it together. Could you become wiser as, you say you impacted it in your 30s.
Yeah.
So if people could do that, I think personally the world would be better.
Yeah.
I mean, let's just be real. There's so many times people want to just take flight, attack, or be verbal, and you capture that, and that's pretty amazing, you know?
Yeah, I think honestly, if more people did some type of physical type of activity, it doesn't have to be exercise in a gym. It could be a hike, it could be a walk, it could be any of those things. To me, like boxing is my absolute love to get out, just because. And it's not because well, of course I like to punch things too.
Right, yeah.
And I'm not like punching a person.
right.
I mean, like, wow, she's violent.
Wow.
I can punch Mike.
I was like, I'm red enough.
Boxing is incredible for breath work because we breathe all day long. So to breathe from your diaphragm and have control over that will help you immensely throughout your life.
Got it.
2, it's a practice of being present, because as soon as you're not present while you're boxing and sparring, you're getting hit. Something's not going to be right, or you're going to get off balance. So it's, for me, boxing is one of the things I try to do at least twice a week.
Wow, powerful.
And I do it for an hour, and I do 3-minute rounds with a minute in between.
Amazing.
And that's just that constant drill. And by the end of it, I am like, anything I went in there has been rinsed out, pushed out, and I'm ready to start my day. And I love it on Mondays because you can tackle anything throughout the week. And I love it to end my week as well.
Wow.
That's
we have to literally do boxing. I'm so down
Give
for
it
this.
a try. Give it a try.
Yeah, and actually, I was at the barber today, and I was kind of like asking him, like, so how do you, if you ever get angry, how do you, like, you be the bigger one, And he's like, honestly, I practice on my breathing, like you just said.
Yeah, breath work is 100. Like sometimes when people are like, I'll take a nice deep breath and I sigh it out. And they're like, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, absolutely. I'm just working my diaphragm for what it is. Wow. I'm also pushing the things out. It's a great way to clear your skull. You learn that through yoga. And, it's helped me tremendously through anything. Yeah. I've had some hard scenes.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, definitely.
There's some big deep breaths.
Yes, definitely.
That's
Love
a big
this.
one, fellas.
Right, exactly.
So in your career, obviously you've become this famous individual. So how was your upbringing? Did you have your family putting you into the world saying, hey, let's make you who you are?
Are you the only child? Or tell us about your upbringing.
Yeah.
We're so interested.
I grew up in a small town of Pennsylvania. Super small town.
Okay.
It's I always call it South Central PA.
Okay.
South Central.
Wow. Pennsylvania.
It's the middle of nowhere.
Okay.
It's like the Appalachian Trails are around me.
Okay.
Big Amish. I would, back when I was in high school and stuff and taking the back roads, you'd always see like the horse and buggy. And
no way.
Oh, yeah. Like,
oh,
for
my
real.
God.
There was like horse and
kidding.
buggy at the local Walmart. Kind
Yeah,
of thing.
right.
To tie up your horse.
No, this is amazing.
No joke.
Oh my God.
I think it's still today. They still have some of those.
Yeah, I think so, right?
Because they're still Amish. And
Yes.
There's still different practices.
Right,
and
right.
I don't know all the different levels or types that are out there. But yeah, so I grew up in an Amish town.
Okay, interesting.
And I do have a younger brother.
Okay.
And we're about 8 years apart.
Okay.
And I kind of like started growing up, a little ahead of him, obviously. And so I just became a very lone wolf.
Okay.
Very adventurous, tomboy, young lady. Just went out there and just, I would be gone. Well, this is also before like cell phones. I'm going to age myself here.
I grew up with pagers too.
Without a cell phone. Like in the mountains. And I still survived, folks.
Oh my God. I would totally die.
Can you imagine?
No,
We're like, oh my God, where's my phone? We freak out for that moment, right?
Literally.
Where's the find the phone thing?
Right.
And so I grew up in a super small town, and I just knew from a very early age. I remember being like 12 years old and being like, God, if I don't get out of this small town, I'm going to suffocate a horrible death.
Wow.
And I know that sounds like we need our small towns, and now I appreciate a small town now that I've lived in cities.
Right.
So, I appreciate it more than ever.
Yes.
But I just felt for me to experience my life to the fullest that staying there was not an option. So I moved out when I was 16. I got my own apartment. I was still in high school.
Wow.
I worked 2 jobs, went to high school, and I was like getting ready to. I knew I was coming up on 6 months before graduation, and I was like, "What am I going to do? I don't want to stay in a small town. There's nothing here for me to do.
Yes.
I want to expand my horizons."
Yes.
And so I joined the Air Force.
Oh
Really?
I didn't
Oh
even
my
tell
God.
my parents. I was
Amazing.
like,
Oh my God.
"Peace out."
You
I'm
didn't
doing-
even tell
and
them.
I was such a rebel growing up. Like I had a
Okay.
mohawk. I was punk. I was
Oh
like,
my God.
woo,
Can we
whatever.
pull
Oh,
this
we're
picture
gonna
up?
pull those
Oh
photos
my
up.
God!
Yeah.
I used to party with the New York club kids.
Oh my God.
I did like
I love that.
I said I ran away. I wasn't running away from anything. My parents were nice. They were
No
like, I didn't
way.
come from a bad
Okay.
I
Okay.
just
Like,
like,
the New York
bye.
club kids, like
wallpaper,
Oh
and
my God.
they had that movie out. I was like, oh my
Yeah.
God, I know those
no
people.
way. Okay.
I will
Love
show
it.
you a picture on my
Yes.
phone.
No,
I
we're
kid you
gonna
not. When I was
get
like
it, and we're gonna
16.
put it up here.
Oh my God. Okay,
loves it,
you're gonna
loves it.
laugh.
Oh my God.
So when I told my parents, they were like, right.
Yeah.
They could not believe
Right.
it.
Wow.
The Air Force.
And I'm
you
like,
said,
well,
right?
I'm leaving, February 14th, Valentine's Day on, this
Wow.
date. And they're like, okay. So I did. And
Oh my
and then they
God.
believed me. They saw me swear in. And
Okay.
I really excelled in the Air Force.
Okay.
I did really well. I made Airman of the Quarter, Airman of the Year.
Wow, congrats.
I graduated top of my class.
Wow.
So it was actually a really good thing for me.
That's amazing.
I needed that structure in order to kind of give me the, hone in some skills of like just, how I wanted to handle my life. Know that I
Okay.
can push through anything. Like some things are going to be uncomfortable, but you can get through it. Like
Right.
not everything's going to last forever.
Right.
You may not like what you're doing
Yeah.
all the time,
Right.
but it's like not everything's meant to be comfortable.
Oh my
Of
God,
course.
I love that.
So
I
it
love
really
that.
kind of helped me kind of set the tone in that direction. It gave me just gave me a lot of confidence, I think also.
Got it.
Confidence.
How many years?
I went in for 3.5. I got
Okay.
out a little early because my father passed away.
Oh, I'm
God
sorry to hear
bless.
that.
Um,
God bless.
it's,
God
thank you.
bless,
It's
yes.
okay. It's
Yeah.
life.
Yes. Yes.
And I got out so I could take care of my, to help my mom and my brother kind of
Yeah.
handle a few things.
Okay.
Got it.
And I was also in college at the time, so I finished out college. I got a degree in physical psychology with a specialization in neuroanatomy.
Wow.
So I was always interested on how the mind and body work together.
Yes.
Okay.
How why do we make the decisions that we make? Why
Right.
are we hungry when we're hungry? Why do we
Right.
eat when we're not?
Yes.
Right.
Right. Exactly.
Besides
exactly.
the cannabis. No.
Right.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. We literally always say the line from what is it? The Grinch.
Oh yeah, the Grinch. What is it?
It's like, are we just eating because we're bored?
Yeah.
So
I've
we're
been
like,
there. I
what's
love
wrong
food.
with us? We're like, what's wrong with us? So yeah, the mind is very, tricky,
Yeah,
tricky
it
thing
can
to learn
be.
for sure.
So I just kind of I think from being, a lone wolf, being younger and always
Got it.
being being able to have the confidence to explore and have the adventures just kind of led me, down my life and down my path.
Amazing.
And I've said yes
Yeah.
a lot to opportunities. Like,
Okay.
yes, I'm going
Got
to
it.
try it out. I've
Mhm.
never been really super fearful
Mhm.
of failure.
Okay.
Like, I don't even look at failure as a bad thing. I look
Okay.
at that's part of learning.
Oh my god.
Of course.
You've got to fall down. It helps you build character. It helps you make
Yes.
better decisions.
Yes.
Doesn't mean that it's over. It just means maybe, hey, I need to go back and maybe rearrange it this way,
Got
and
it. Oh my
figure out your
gosh.
business that way. I'm sure you
Wow.
probably dealt with that in your own business.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
Grow,
Yeah.
from where you started to where you are
Yes.
now.
Most
Took
definitely.
being told no, took being told yes, and
Right.
in different ways or maybes, and
Mhm.
like how do you push through push through it?
Yeah.
And
yeah,
as you gotten
definitely.
older, obviously you get wiser. And I feel like I'm 45 years old, so I've already failed probably 1,000 times. So to me, it's kind of very common. He's a little younger, so he fails. He's like, no, it's the end of the world. And me, I'm like, dude,
I know. I think it's just saying.
it's happening
I'm
for
like,
you.
okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, how can you not be upset? And he's just sitting there. I'm
Like,
just like, my heart.
I'm
Yeah.
way more
You
calmer.
know.
Like I'm beyond that already. But
no, but I understand. But I get it.
Right. So talking about you and where you're headed in your business. So obviously
Mhm.
you have this coffee
Yeah.
business going
Yes.
on.
So many businesses.
We love coffee, by the way. We're like,
Right.
we're
Oh my gosh, how
crazy
lucky
for
is
it.
that?
Oh my
So
God, yes.
talk to us
We're gonna
about
go
what-
visit you. How
Because
about
based
that?
on everything you're telling us, you're doing all these things.
Yes.
College. By the way, the person, my right hand, went to the Air Force. He's a VA Air Force veteran. All that.
Yes.
Super coolest guy. I cannot do anything
Ah.
without him.
Right.
So
Thank you.
you probably got so much from that. So much of
Right.
like I gotta stay focused.
Mhm.
So
Or
but
actually, before we move on, did you ever like fly in any jets or anything like that?
Well, I'm too short to be a pilot.
Oh, is that a thing?
No way.
And I
Stop.
couldn't be in any fighter. I
You
wasn't
probably
in any
needed
fighter
the heels
pilots or
back then,
anything.
Yeah, we
I
need the
know.
hills, you know, right?
No, I did drive 25K loaders. I was a load master.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Wow.
Still am.
I love
Okay.
that.
I love this. I love this.
Yes, yes.
Hey, when you know, you know. You know.
All the Air Force people out there
Yeah,
would be like, I know
right.
what a load master is.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I love
exactly.
it. I love it.
Oh my God, sorry to interrupt, but I had to ask that question. I was like, oh my God.
No,
Love
no
it, love it.
But that's fascinating. And as far as that went with the coffee business,
Right.
how's that going for you? Is that
Right.
something that you just out of nowhere, you're just like, all right, I'm going to start doing some coffee business?
Because you're doing so much
Yeah,
work,
there's
and
so
then
much.
now you're starting your own business, which is the coffee, and that's like a ton more work. So how did you start it, and how are you even doing with it all right now?
Well, what I realized by being in the adult industry and why I love it so much, because a lot of people I think that you love it for just the action that's happening. Yes,
Right.
that's great, of course.
Of course.
The money is great, of course.
Of course.
But what I love about it the most is the autonomy over my own time, because what that has allowed me to do is to pursue my own passions and dreams, such as the coffee, such as comedy.
Yes.
So how the coffee even transpired, or actually, no, I did start the coffee first, actually. I've started a lot of different businesses.
I love it.
But I was just in my backyard on a Sunday. I knew a coffee roaster out of, at that time, New England.
Okay.
And I was in my backyard in my hammock on a Sunday morning or
Florida?
afternoon. No, here in Vegas.
Oh, Vegas,
okay.
And I was having that coffee,
Got
and I was
it.
smoking a joint, and I was like, "Oh my God, I should have my own coffee business."
Joints
And
will do that to you.
and I literally called him like right there.
No
like,
way.
I think I should have my own coffee business. It's called at that time I called it High AF Coffee.
Okay.
And a lot of people thought I had cannabis in it. I'm like, I can't sell it to other
okay.
countries and across states if I had THC in it, folks.
Okay.
I'm trying to be legal here.
Right.
So it was coffee. So I changed it to HAF. And that was all also a way for me to keep Alexis Fawx or the AF in there.
Oh, I love that.
As a way of, being sly in the mainstream product without, turning off people that would might look at Alexis Fawx and think, ooh, a coffee from a quote unquote porn, whatever. And I don't want to turn them off from that. I want them to enjoy my coffee. It's a very great boutique luxury coffee.
Love it.
Oh God, I love it.
No, definitely.
Oh my God.
And coffee to me is a passion just because I love to travel, and I've tried coffee from like really mom and pop roasters in Costa Rica.
Love
Like you're
that.
driving down the side of the mountain.
That
And you could
sounds
literally stop. And the mom is grinding the beans from hand and like, oh, would you like some cacao? Would you like some chocolate that I made? I'm like, yes.
Right. You're like,
Of course I do.
Yes.
And so that's where that passion kind of always spawned. Just traveling around, trying coffee from different people, and I just really wanted to kind of bring that.
That's amazing. You know coffee. You
Yeah,
tried it in different
it's like
places.
tasting wine.
Yeah.
Like every place. And also you got to think about where that coffee is being grown, and you can actually start pulling the flavors. So like in Costa Rica, you have the cacao, you have the bananas, so you're going to have those flavors kind of creep through the coffee itself.
Yeah.
So it makes it so
did
yummy.
you create
Amazing.
the coffee in the laboratory or in your backyard? Or, I mean,
I wish I
You know?
Honestly, what I would love eventually to do with my coffee business is work directly with the farmers and bring the farmers in these beautiful countries that are growing these beautiful beans direct purchasing, so that they can actually get the money directly. I would like to see that happen more
that's
so.
amazing.
But in the meantime, I have a roaster here in the U.S. and we, try to do everything, properly and stuff like that. So
your partners. Correct?
Yes.
Yes.
And so now it's HAF.coffee. That's where you can find us. And we have coffee, we have hot cocoa, we have teas.
Oh my God. I love
beans and grind. So I am your bean dealer.
You're gonna be my dealer tonight.
Yes,
I'm going in.
Yeah, you just tell me what your flavor profile. If you like light roast, medium roast, dark roast, I can tell you what our most popular ones are.
Amazing.
Right now, our AJ Dark Espresso is one of our top. It's also was put into a beer from a local brewer in Vegas called Cheers to Breakfast.
All right.
Okay.
Right. And they actually, the local brewer also made me a blonde ale, which is the Alexis Fawx blonde ale.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
We're
Unfortunately,
we're gonna go to Vegas just to try the Alexis Fawx.
Yes, I have the last few cases
Oh my
left.
God, no.
Yeah,
No
I
kidding.
do.
Oh,
Okay, you have to save those.
I will save them,
That's
so-
special.
Yeah.
So I'll
so
definitely
special.
have to send you, get you some coffee. You'll have to try
Yes.
some of the blonde ale.
Oh my God.
So yeah, I've been able to do different things like that. And then also because of the autonomy over my own time, I was able to take not just the coffee, but turn that into a comedy show that I was running here in LA and Sunset before 2020. And then 2020 happened and no one was meeting. So we turned that into a podcast. Hence why I have the podcast now.
Oh my God.
So that's all the kind of crazy roundabout spider web of things I've been doing. I will be bringing the comedy show back.
Oh my God, how exciting.
Actually, can we talk about this? Like, because you're such a driven businesswoman.
I love creating things.
It shows you are in coffee, you're in so many different things, but also comedy. So where did this comedy trait come from? You know, a lot of our guests, sometimes they'll say it's from my parents, or sometimes it's from myself, or I saw a mentor. Like, where did this come from?
Well, I just have such an admiration and respect for comedians and for their storytelling. And I think laughter is absolutely, I know it's cliche, is absolutely one of the best medicines out there.
It really is.
It is like, I know that when I've gotten over some hard times, when I got to that laughter, I knew I was over that hump.
There you go.
And that was such a good fucking feeling, right?
So
I wanted just to bring a show together that, you know, I'm a big cannabis advocate as well, that brought cannabis together, brought comedians together, brought some music together, and just have a really good night out without our phones almost. And it really did turn into that. It was called the Alexis Fawx Show, which is now my podcast.
Yes.
Okay.
And we're going to bring that comedy show back, especially now with the openings of different cannabis lounges, because it's just a really neat atmosphere. People forget about their phones. You start laughing with one another, having this eye-to-eye contact, and I miss that. I think that's so important in our lives.
Yes.
And who doesn't like to laugh?
I know, right? I mean,
you know?
And you get to mix it all with the cannabis. Like, is it like a coffee shop? Do you have, what kind of teams are there?
Well, I'd love to have a brick and mortar coffee shop. So if anybody wants to
oh my God,
invest in that, let's
come
go.
on, guys. Investors. Come on.
Investors, bring it on. So I just, you know, all that together has just been really, really
that's
super amazing.
Yeah,
and
that's awesome.
And, you know, my life is funny. When I really sit back and think about it, I mean, think about like what I go through on set. Think about the first time I prepped for anal for an on set, which is a lot different the way what some people do at home. And I know this is not the podcast for it.
No, it's okay. It's an open podcast.
But you know, I mean, that alone, what we do to prep for that for an on scene thing, is funny. You guys aren't doing that at home. You're like, I had some wine. Let's get crazy.
Okay.
I've been there.
Yes.
You know, and then, you know, we stop eating the day before, and then we have a whole like process. And,
oh my God.
You know,
so then
we're like, okay, are we gonna eat by 5 o'clock today? Because I'm starved. It's been 24 hours. Like, you know, like we go through this whole thing. So I mean, if you really sit back and think about it, and I remember like the first time, you know, I was nervous because you want to do a good job and you don't want any accidents to happen on set. So you're like on your phone with like your best friend in the industry. You're like, you've got things going on, things in places. You're naked. You're like face down, ass up. You're like, where did the water go?
Oh my God. You're like concerned about the water.
You're like, what happened?
Right. You're like, I'm dehydrated here.
And these are just like, I you know, and I know that's not like everyday life things for everybody out there, but I think that that's a funny thing that I think a lot of people that can kind of meet up on a personal level. They can find like camaraderie in that. They're like, that is funny because they can either see themselves or maybe they had like a bad experience or maybe they've actually went through it and they're like, they were nervous about it.
No, that opens up a vision for sure because, you know, if anything, we're thinking like it's so serious, like right before the scenes occur, it's like everybody has to be on it. But the way you're looking at it is you can laugh, you can have fun with it. And, you know, I love that so much.
But, you know, the porn industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry. And when you say it out loud, it's people still have to get adjusted to the fact of how it's said, because the fact is, everybody either watches porn or is involved in doing some activity about it. So it's such a natural thing, but people get ashamed of it or like if they're worried about it, but you express it through your like for you, it's a job, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, you express it in a fashion that makes other people more comfortable.
It's a human experience
Yeah.
I'm having, you know,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
it's kind of a unique human experience.
Yes,
Like,
yes.
it's crazy. Like, you know, and then like, you know, you know, what I hear from fans or what people send me in a DM. And
Exactly.
Wow.
I could just write a book on it.
Definitely.
I love that.
That might be my next coffee table book. Just
there you go. Right.
all the D pics.
Yeah. Oh my
Yeah.
Right.
Just watch out, fellas.
Right.
You might see it. Might see it on cover.
Wow.
Right.
I love that.
So what is your take on the you know, porn industry for maybe individuals who don't understand it?
You know, I think it's an individual thing. I'm not going to push one thing or another. I think, you know, I would hate to have anybody closed-minded.
Yeah.
It is out there. I think, you know, you have to go with what your own gut feeling is.
Yes.
I don't think it is pure evil as some people would like. I think
Right.
I think Instagram could be pure evil.
Right.
Let's be real. Yeah.
There's
You
seen
know, there's some
stuff.
things on Instagram where I'm like,
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah. Exactly.
You know, so, you know, I think be open-minded. I think really what it comes down to is don't watch porn for educational purpose. It is pure adult entertainment.
Right.
And it's purely entertainment. We do
Yes.
things for camera angles. We the whole quote unquote squirting thing is, you know, what we do on camera is not really natural. You know what I mean? Like,
okay.
if you want your partners, because I get a lot of things. Oh, I want my partner to do this. I want, you know, I see you do this on camera. I have to remind them. Hello.
Yeah.
Have you talked to your partner yet?
Right.
Maybe start there.
Yeah, exactly.
So I always try to tell people, like, it's an entertainment. If it might, you know, if it means to spice up your relationship or you think it might, or, you know, or if you catch your partners looking at it and maybe they didn't tell you about it, well, maybe open up that discussion as where maybe why they felt a need that maybe you weren't accepting of it. You got to think maybe sometimes, you know, maybe our partners, we hide things because we are either ashamed of it ourselves. Maybe we're, you know, we grew up with some reason to be ashamed of it, right? I feel like sex in general in this country gets a, you know, we I don't know, it's the Puritan part or something.
Right.
You know, I don't know, but I feel like a lot of people are even just we have adults in relationships that won't even talk sex with one another.
Exactly.
And if you can't talk about, you know, what is turning each other on, and I know that's a very vulnerable, sensitive discussion.
Right.
Your heart's going to pound. You might tear up. You might get, you know, things are going to happen. But just imagine how much closer you're going to be with your partner if you can open that up.
Yeah.
And that could either involve porn or not involve porn. It might be like, hey, well, I like to watch this, or I have a fantasy about that.
Right.
You know, how open are you? How receptive of a partner are you? Are you comprehending what is being communicated to you?
Yes.
So I try to like always push to that level of say it's entertainment.
Yeah.
You can be open to it or not,
Right.
but also don't dog people that are open to it.
Right.
You know, it's individual basis. I would never tell you what to like. I would never tell anybody out there what to like, and certainly don't tell me what to like.
Right. And I mean, we're open people. We're in the LGBT community, so we have our own, you know, perception of the world. The things that we get into are very different than the standard heterosexual.
Yeah.
In your case, the same thing. You're in the porn industry and you do things that are, in your case, make sense to you, right? So I think everybody, when you look on their spectrum or their eyes, they're like, all right, this is what I like. So there's so many different things people like that you might not like. You know, you might not like what we do. Who knows, right? But the whole world circles around over and over with so many different things that we don't understand. And I think that's the problem. The fact is, we all get to do different things we want to do, but we have to be open-minded and not attack people for it. Because the fact is, it's not your life, right? At the end, it's not.
It's not.
But you can be open-minded and accept it and be like, hey, that's their culture, that's their mindset, and I'm okay with it.
Be cool with it. Like, I don't know why people are so concerned about what other people do in their own homes.
Yeah,
it's
right.
so weird to me.
Like, what's going on?
It's like, why do you care? Like, just maybe you need to worry about your own sexuality and your own sex. Figure that out and your own relationship and everything like that.
And I feel like most people are closed off because of the way, you know, again, like you said, the world, the way it's looking at things, and then that's told to individuals, and then we just believe it. I mean, us being a gay couple, you know, for many years, even, you know, we've been together for 13 years. We were just talking about this last night. We would go to bed in the first year or two kind of saying, give us Lord type thing, because we were so looking at the world, how it looked at us, how we were doing things wrong. And now on the news a couple of weeks ago, you know, I'm not going to say religion, which one it was, but I mean, they actually were like, well, we were wrong. And honestly, if there's a couple that is the same sex, it should be, you know, that should be something that's okay. But for so many years, they were told not to. So it's like, how can you believe the world when the world really doesn't know everything.
Right.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense, So
yeah, and it's all brought up. Like, I mean, really think about it. These rules are all made up.
Yeah.
It's
Exactly.
all perception.
No, literally.
It's all fake.
Yeah,
No.
exactly.
Fake
It
news.
doesn't really matter.
Right. And many people don't understand that.
I think it's their attachments. I think
Yeah.
without their attachments to these certain things and these certain rules and these certain titles and I'm this now. It's like people try to put like labels on my sexuality or whatever. I'm like, I don't put labels on it. I don't look and be like, oh, I'm definitely like men and women. Man, I like a lot of sorts of women. I like all sorts of men.
Yes,
I like all sorts of sexuality within these people.
Right,
Like,
right.
I like a lot of stuff. It's really what I really vibe with who that person is, their character on the inside.
Yes.
So whatever shell that comes in, that's the shell they come in. That's cool the way they are.
Yeah.
I love that.
And that's just how I look at it.
Love that.
And I feel like people really put themselves in a box, and if they didn't have that box, what life would they have?
Right.
And without those attachments. So
Yes,
I try to live
definitely.
really attached free. I am attached to my dogs. It's about the
Okay.
it's the only
There you go.
attachment I have. But
Yes.
And talking about that, you're a mother of 3. So let's talk about
you
your.
see that?
Yes, we saw that. So let's talk about you
Right.
being the mother with your 3
yes,
babies.
I'm a single mom of 3.
Right.
For
right.
babies, okay,
Okay.
people. I have 2 senior Shih Tzus. I am their
Wow.
luxury living retirement plan.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
I am their
okay.
luxury
I love
nurse. Yes, I give them
I can see
medication.
this. I can
Okay, I
see
love
this.
that.
One is 14, and the other one I think is going on
Wow.
12.
Oh my God.
And they both are, one has a kidney failure, the other one has like a liver pancreas issue. So
Oh
they
my
have
God.
like
No
totally
kidding.
different, like, so I am their nursing. I mean,
Yes,
I'm their nursing
yes.
home.
Okay, got
yes.
it. Got it.
And then I have this little rabbit called Bobby Bun Buns, and I rescued her. She was a domesticated rabbit that, people get rabbits around holidays for the kids or whatever,
Yes.
and then realize that all they do is poop and eat.
Right.
And that's
They
way
can't
too much for a
handle-
kid to take
Right,
care of.
of
And then all of a
course.
sudden they're like, oh, it's a rabbit. I'll go ahead and I'll
Mhm.
put this out in the neighborhood.
Right.
Oh,
And
of course.
we live in the desert. There's coyotes. There's
Oh
big
my
dogs.
God, yes.
So
The heat.
I just saw it, and I grabbed it one night and
Oh my God.
and took it home.
Wow.
And it's
That
been
is
with me
nice.
since.
Oh my, how many
Wow.
years?
Since 2021, I'm sorry.
Wow.
my- oh, okay, so
okay,
it's-
okay.
So this is
21.
still a baby?
So when I got her and I took her to the vet, he was like, well, she could be a year to 3. And I'm like, oh, that's like the cable company come over to fix something.
Wow.
Right.
We'll be there between the hours of 9 and 9.
Right.
yes.
Don't go
We'll be
anywhere.
here all day.
Exactly. So yeah, I have them, and I absolutely love taking care of them. I think, like, I don't know, I could go with a lot less, but I love taking care of my little puppies. And,
Did
and
you ever
stuff.
think about having
No.
like kids yourself?
Look at me! I knew what you were gonna
Right,
say.
no.
I had to. We're talking about
That was
mother
a
of
good
3.
question.
So
That was-
Yeah,
I wanted to make
no,
sure. Yeah.
I never wanted an actual human child. I like having my dogs. I love that responsibility. I love
Yeah.
that nurturing. I know I'm a
Okay.
nurturer. I love to nurture
Yes.
my friends.
Mhm.
I love to nurture my pets and
Mhm.
family and things
Yeah.
of that nature.
Yes.
But no, kids to me would have slowed me down.
Okay.
Mhm.
And I might sound, selfish to other people, but I think it's
No.
the right choice for me.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to bring another human being into the world and then be like, oh God, you're fucking putting me behind.
Yeah.
And I know how I
Mhm.
am. Like, I'm that
Mhm.
high energy. I have
Yes,
goals. I have
right.
things I want to do.
Yes.
I want to travel. I like to travel by myself. I don't even travel with my friends. So
No
you think
way.
I want
Got
to
it.
travel with a
Oh,
kid?
I mean, you flew in here by yourself too, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Jeez.
I love this.
I love it.
Oh yeah, I travel. I do all
Right.
kinds of stuff. I
Oh
love
my
it. I love
gosh.
I love having that
Mhm.
about myself. It just wasn't. It's never been a choice for me. I never really toyed around with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've had good relationships. I've had
Mhm.
long relationships, and I probably in some of those, I'm sure the partner that I was with may have wanted, and maybe
Okay.
that's why
Okay.
whatever.
Okay.
It didn't work out,
Yeah.
and stuff like that. Not that it was even a discussion any of those relationships,
Okay.
because I make it very clear,
Yeah. And
from the get.
maybe we could talk about that a little bit.
Mhm.
Are you, you're not in a relationship right now? Are you looking to be in
No.
one?
No, I love to
Okay.
single and mingle.
Okay, love it. I love it.
I'm in LA tonight.
There you
Hey.
go, right? Rodeo, Beverly
Where we
Hills.
going, fellas?
Send the DM. Send the DMs.
Right,
We
right.
can read 'em
You know,
afterwards.
Right. Oh my God, for reals. Let's see what pictures pop up.
Oh
right?
my God.
Woo,
Oh
see,
my God,
see what
I love
athletes
it.
stuff.
Yes, yes.
So we saw some of your content on Instagram. Let's be real.
Yes.
So
Right, love
let's talk about your boots.
Oh,
So,
yeah,
for
we
one,
have to
they're
talk
amazing.
about
We have to
these.
talk about
When
the
you
boots,
walk
right?
Oh,
in,
my
you're like,
cool
oh my God.
boots.
So I'm sure you have like a major selection of different kinds of boots and everything.
Yes.
So I've noticed on your page some people have some insane fetishes on boots.
Mhm.
So I kind of wanted to know like how far have things gotten into the boots.
Or is it boots? Is it any type of
shoes?
shoe?
Is it shoes?
Like,
or
we
what
know
exactly
that
is it?
A lot of people.
I mean,
like
did you start? Did you start to train them? I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, where did it come from?
I think I'm known to for the stuck porn. I think that's the trend that I
Is that what
started.
it is? Step porn.
But
Okay.
as far as the shoe goes, I do have a large foot fetish, shoe fetish, stocking fetish, those that kind of fetish-y type fans.
Okay.
And these particularly, I happen to especially love now. I had a fan come up to me. We have award shows and conventions and stuff, and we have one here in LA called XBiz. It's in January.
Loves it.
And it's another big award show and convention, and I like to work them. I love seeing my fans. I love signing autographs, taking pictures with all of you. So if you see me, do it.
There you go.
Love
there
it.
you go.
And I had this gentleman come up to me, and I could tell. Then, because I kept glancing at these particularly.
Those
I
same
have
ones.
video of this too, by the way.
Got it.
Okay.
And I have hardcore fans, and I love them so fucking much. But I could tell he kept glancing, and I was just like, "Do you want to touch them?" And I just said it like that. Like, he didn't ask me. I was like, would you like to touch them? And he looked, and he smiled, and I was like, go ahead, you can. So I got my chair, and I was like, great, I get to sit down too, right? I love foot fetish guys. I get to sit down.
Oh, got it. You can sit down.
I got my chair, and he was feeling them and touching them and getting them really close to his face, and I was like, go ahead. Because I knew he wanted to put them in his mouth. I knew he wanted to kiss them. I was
no
like,
way.
And he looked, and he smiles at me. I was like, go ahead. It's totally okay. Like, it's I don't care.
I love it.
If you want to, I'm not pushing you. If you want to do that and that makes you happy, he did. He basically deep throated my foot almost with the shoe on. He was so amazing. And he kept showing up. He even came to AVN and saw me. I love you.
There you go. Biggest fan.
And I took video of him doing it. But just thinking, like, he had a full-on fan experience. That's what he wanted to do. I could tell immediately because of his body language. I've been doing this for a long time. Reading body language.
Yeah.
You probably do it all the time in your sales, right?
Right. Yes.
You read people's body language. You get to see. You just watch what they're, where their eyes are going. What makes them give them a smile.
Yes.
And it's no harm. It's my boob. Like if that's what he likes and that's what he enjoys, I'm down to do that.
Wow.
And plus,
that's where it all started.
Yeah. Well, no, I just knew that particular. That's the story with these boots. But it probably started, since the time I got in back in 2010, I realized that heels and shoes were a really big thing.
Got it.
Because of the comments that I was beginning. I have a pair, I think I did sell them actually. I think they did sell. I sell all my items.
Amazing.
Socks, panties, these pantyhose. I'll sell these pantyhose.
They're going.
Okay. Wore them on a podcast.
Hey.
Was super sweaty.
Right.
They love that.
Exactly. It really is. If you're watching this podcast,
they're like,
it's hot in here.
Did you clean it? I'm like, no, of course not.
Oh my god,
I love this.
So you just kind of learn right away, what your fan base is, and there's all types of fetishes for all types of stuff.
And I'm fascinated by it because there's so much more than just the standard porn. I think a lot of people old school are stuck with the actual intercourse, but you can actually have porn that's shoe fetish or foot fetish or fingers or hair. I don't even know. There's probably everything, right?
All kinds of anything. There's cheese. You could sit on cakes. There's all sorts of different types of, I do femdom. I do a variety of things. I have a variety of fans.
Okay.
So I can do anything from hardcore femdom where it's corporal punishment to I can be like, oh my God, it's so big.
Yeah.
What is my job? My job is I create fantasies for people. I create a product of fantasy.
Wow.
And so I'm not going to limit myself just to the stepmom thing, although I've a big majority of my work.
Yes.
But if you're comfortable with certain femdom things, I'm comfortable with. Now there's certain things that I still have boundaries.
Okay.
There's certain things I don't like. I won't say. There's certain things I'm just not comfortable with doing, medical procedures or anything really super hardcore. I probably wouldn't be okay with that.
Got it.
But sticking my fan to certain places, that's no problem.
I love that.
You're like, okay.
So you get a whole wide range of people, and I just I think it's so beautiful. It's just I find everybody's uniqueness and kink and what they're into.
Right.
I like it.
I
don't have to actually be into it for me to actually enjoy it. I just enjoy bringing that smile and watching you have your release of that particular time.
Yes.
That, whatever that is.
Yeah.
If
And
that
I'm
makes
sure,
sense.
no, it makes sense. And I'm sure for you, it goes back to you studying the mind.
Yeah.
You know, you're
it's
not
seeing
just
that click.
right.
And then it's like now, like I was able to like look at him and know
Yeah.
exactly,
right.
oh, this is what he wants.
Yeah.
And then let me give him the fan experience that he deserves.
Right.
And yeah, when he
Yeah.
came out to AVN, I'll show you guys, but
Oh my
it's
God,
like
we're gonna
great.
see.
He brought a friend with him this
Oh
time.
my
and
God.
videotape
Yeah.
him doing it.
Wow.
And he'll have that forever.
Yeah.
I mean, think about that. He came and I love you. Come
Oh my
on.
God,
Oh
there
my
you
God.
go. Yeah. And
you're-
we were talking about awards.
Yes.
And I know,
Yeah.
you know, you are
An award winner.
Yes, an award winner. So maybe
Yeah,
talk to us
I
about
mean,
your
do
award
tell.
because, you know, it takes a lot to get an award. I think this Christmas I was like, I'm not even getting an award. And I was just like, I closed so many deals, but you know what I mean? It
Yeah.
takes a lot. You put in a lot of work. So it's not just a little piece of glass or something. That means something.
It does mean something. It's also your colleagues recognizing you. It's kind of validation of your work in a lot of ways,
Yes.
and you know, being in and making, you know, I've won AVN MILF Performer of the Year,
Okay.
XBiz
Yes.
Performer of the Year.
Congrats.
There's other hot movies,
Loves it.
Pornhubs. I'm up for. we're gonna have the Pornhub Awards here
Okay.
in LA
Oh my
coming
gosh.
up in March at the
Okay.
end of this month. Oh my gosh, it's almost here.
Yeah, I know.
And,
wait, is it here? Oh, it's already March.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
already
yeah,
here.
it's
It's already.
already.
It's at the
Wow.
end of this month. I
Wow.
know it's flying by. And I'm up for Top Squirter
Oh my
and
God.
Top MILF.
Okay,
Yes.
okay.
Get it,
You're
get
getting that
it.
award. You're getting that award.
So it's just fun, you know.
Yeah.
I get really excited about the nominations. The
Mhm.
winning the awards is also absolutely amazing. You know,
Right.
it's really cool to have that, and I have a bunch at home.
Mhm.
But just even all the nominations is pretty
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know, be able to, and you know, seeing the movies now that I've actually helped write or come up with the idea or the concept actually get nominated or win.
Yes.
That's even bigger to me now.
Wow.
You know,
Love that.
it's like, oh wow, that came from my
Yeah.
imagination, and
Yes.
my imagination is winning awards.
I like that.
So that's kind of cool.
That is really cool. Oh my God, I
Yeah,
love
I
that
never
so
thought
much.
when I got in like almost 14 years ago,
Uh-huh.
that I'd actually win any. Like I always like
Okay.
thought like, what would I say when I won an award?
my God, I love
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
thanks. It was the best thing. You know, like,
Yeah,
would
yeah.
like to thank. You know,
Right,
like what do you
right,
say? But when
I love this.
I remember the one time I went up on stage. I was
Yeah.
in a full like top hat suit with a
Oh my
cane
God.
and everything.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Totally daddied out.
Oh my God.
And I went up there and I was so nervous. And it's so funny because you know what we do on camera and everything. And I was just
Yeah.
like, I'm just
Right.
trying not to vomit.
Oh my God.
Right.
Like, you
Oh
know,
my
like
God.
try not to fall in
Yes,
your heels.
yes.
Yes,
Whatever
yes,
you're
yes.
doing, you know,
Exactly.
and also sound eloquent.
Yes.
Like,
yes.
whatever.
Yes. Okay. Okay.
It's just a big blur.
Yeah, love it.
But yeah,
my
it's
God.
pretty incredible,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I hope to win some more.
Yes,
I love that.
you're
Oh,
going
wow.
to. You're
Yeah,
going.
we're gonna
to.
manifest it for sure.
I love
so,
that.
So you went from the Air Force. You
Right.
did all this college work.
Yeah.
So what made Alex Fawx? Yes, Alexis Fawx. So what made you go right into porn? So what happened?
Yes.
Normally, it's not just like.
Did you
"Oh, I'm
come
gonna
out
go
of the
into
Air
porn."
Force and go into it? Did you?
No.
Or was there an experience? What?
Yeah,
could've-
like that click. That
What
you're
made
like,
you go
okay,
into
this is it? Because you know.
So I got into the Air Force and then college. I eventually found myself in Miami, Florida,
Okay.
Okay.
and having a ball.
Okay. Okay.
You
Do
know?
tell. Do tell.
Woo, that's where I was like dancing.
Okay.
Let's go,
and
let's
4
go.
a.m.
clubbing. It was a
There you
good time. And I
Yeah.
had I was like litigation consulting and research.
Okay.
I did statistics, behavioral statistics, all kinds of stuff, like
Wow.
really corporate stuff.
Uh-huh. Okay.
And I was living a miserable life
Wow.
because it was
Mm.
the, you know, quote unquote 9 to 5, which is not really 9 to 5 because once email comes around, you're on call 24/7.
course.
Right?
Right.
And working for attorneys or corporate, living that box. I mean, you get there before you see the sun, you leave when you don't see the sun.
Mhm.
It was, I started doing, I found myself going into bad behaviors
Mhm.
because I wasn't happy.
Right.
So,
Right.
you know, that's where you go out. Happy hour starts on
Mhm.
Thursday or Friday.
Mhm.
And you
Okay.
party until Sunday night. And it's like,
Right.
oh shit, it's Monday
Yeah.
again.
Exactly.
And you can find yourself in this really
Mhm.
unproductive rat race.
Yes.
Right.
And I just literally, I was like, I'm unhappy. And I woke up and I was like, if I don't change things, again, it's like my own personal wake up call. If I don't change things, this is not going to end well. This is not
Mhm.
where I want to be
Mm.
in 10 years. This
Mhm.
is
I get
this, I'm
that.
at ceiling pay. I'm not going to go any further.
Yeah.
So I hauled off and I quit everything.
Wow.
And I partied pretty good for like 6 months
Okay,
afterwards.
okay,
I was like,
okay.
fuck it, let's go.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
You know,
Right.
after working for attorneys for so long, I
Yeah.
was like,
Oh my
let's go.
God.
Right. Right. We're going out tonight. Yeah.
Exactly,
Yes,
exactly.
yes.
Mhm.
So, I got it all out of my system, and I was like, okay, I eventually had to get back to work. And some things, some things, had to happen in that time either, from quitting. There was like a whole year in there that I went through a lot of uncovering a lot of my own emotional stuff and had to get it out. And I cried and then I began to laugh again, laugh from the inside and I had to learn how to make myself truly happy from the inside out. And that I wouldn't have been able to do that doing some kind of 40-hour bullshit job in a corporate.
Got it.
Makes sense.
You know what I mean? So eventually I had to get a job, and I was looking through Craigslist of all things. Remember that back in the day?
I remember
right.
I would never do it now.
Okay,
that's still around.
It's still around.
But yeah, I was looking through Craigslist to see what kind of something I could do to make some money.
Yes.
Because I was living in Miami. That also wasn't corporate. And it was like, oh, do you want to be an extra for Dancing Bear? And Dancing Bear, I've seen it. It's like this whole bridesmaid and, the whole bride gets crazy and either has sex or blows the guy.
Okay.
The dancers.
Got it.
I was like, oh my God, I've seen this. I would love to be an extra. I'll go and make that extra money. I didn't give a shit how much I was making. I just wanted to go see live sex.
Right.
I was like, this is a wild experience.
Yes.
So I answered that by myself. I went down there by myself. And I got down there, and by this time I was thinner. I had big boobs, black hair, the whole thing.
So the same.
Right.
Yeah. Exactly.
Right. The same. Just red hair. Just red hair.
A little thicker in some areas.
Okay. There you go.
A little bit more chicken.
We love it.
And they were like, hey, they needed other women to do some more. They were just going to blowjob that day, and they were like, hey, if you do this, you make this amount. It was like kiss your girlfriend, show your tits. If you want to do the blowjob, you'll make this amount. And I was like, oh shit, I can do that. And I didn't even think about it. It wasn't like, I didn't, I was already in my 30s. I wasn't thinking like, what will my mom say? People always ask that all the time. What did your parents say? I was like, I was an adult. I don't think they have a say.
Right.
They were paying my rent by then, trust me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I raised my hand. It was like, really, there wasn't much thought process, and I just did it.
Okay.
And I was like, yeah, I'm going to make this cash. I've blown. I'm good at what I've been told I'm good, right?
Okay.
And I had this really awesome lady woman that was next to me, and she was talking to me. She was pumping me up, the guy comes over, he's wearing the big bear head, and I was like, my God, shit, I really gotta suck this dick.
Oh wow. Yeah. With the bear head on.
Yeah, he had the bear head on. Wow. And all I know is like, I'm going to reenact all the scenes that I've ever watched, like on the computer and stuff like that, and just do my best. And she was like, encouraging me. I did it. And they loved my performance. And I got immediately, and that was really rare to get immediately booked for another scene, because I just did quote unquote reality, quote unquote. It's not reality. So I got booked right away, and next thing I knew, I was like, "Oh, you need to come up with a name. You need and we'll see you here tomorrow for your first boy girl scene." And I was like, "Oh damn, we're doing this."
I love
and
that.
And I don't think it truly hit me that I was Alexis Fawx.
Okay.
This adult actress, this character.
Yes, right.
Probably not for a couple years into it. And I was like, wow, I'm really doing this. I'm making the money. I think I was still on that survival mode of like, okay, figuring out my life, figuring out what's making me happy. This was making me money, so I could focus on that. And I focused on myself in those first few years. And fixing what I need to do in here to keep me balanced over here.
Yes.
And is Alexis Fawx your actual name, or is that your stage name?
That's my stage name.
Oh my God,
kidding.
no
way.
Are
you able to ask you what it really is?
Well, I will tell you outside.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
Not that it's hard. I'm sure if you looked hard enough, I'm sure that everybody could find it. I just try to keep it kind of under wraps a little bit.
Right.
I mean, we kind of have stage names. I'm Eli, but it's different.
Yeah.
It's
I think stage names is fun.
Yeah, definitely.
You know how they say, sometimes you create that character to kind of give you a little bit more confidence or a little bit more push. Like that gives you almost like a reason to be a little bit more, if you needed to be a little bit more.
I so can agree.
Maybe in my personal life, I wasn't, I'd be a little bit more reserved or held back. Not so much anymore. It's really helped me really develop myself personally.
Got it.
I can set boundaries. I can say no. And I've had a absolute, and I would like to set the record straight, everybody's experience in the adult industry will be different.
Right.
As a woman, I have never felt more empowered in my life because of the autonomy and the money I've been able to make. I think like my view on intimacy and sex is completely different than what a lot of people think about it. And I can separate those things very easily. But I've always been super empowered in that. So let me set that record straight.
There you go.
And I really
and
love
also
that.
people need to understand when we go to set, especially now, and things have improved. I'm not, I wasn't in 20 years ago. I've only been in the last 13 half years ago.
Okay, yes.
And I can only say in my experience, it's been really good. But I've also been a person that always spoke up for myself. If I didn't want to do something, I didn't do it. If I didn't like how that was written, I didn't do it. If I didn't like want to wear it, I did not wear it.
Right.
I never felt the need that I had to fold into those things. Not that it was ever a pressure to me either.
Right.
Again, everybody's experience is different.
Definitely.
I love how you're not a puppet. Like you're literally
No.
like your own human.
Right.
Always
like,
been myself.
right.
And
I love
I had
that.
a great mentor when I got in. Her name is Rachel Starr.
Okay.
She's an absolute legend in the
Wow.
industry. Everybody
Rachel
would know
Starr.
her.
We
Why
love
does she
you.
sound familiar? Nice kidding.
You know.
That's twerking booty.
Right, there you go. There you go.
She taught me.
Okay.
But she taught me a lot about business. And she taught me that it's okay to like stick by your rates. You do not have to lower your rates. You are, because if you lower your rates, you're not lowering your performance. You know what I mean?
Right.
So why would you do that?
Yes.
So
exactly.
I stuck by my rates. I stuck by this, stuck by that. I listened to her, and it's made me very successful. To be able to stand your ground on that.
Wow.
Again, not that I really had to press back on anything.
Yeah.
But I never felt pressure. I never felt that I couldn't say no.
Right. And that mentor totally changed it.
Yeah,
for you, helped you
having
get
her as
through
my
it.
mentor really helped me out a
Yeah,
lot. She really helped
definitely.
structure that into my head.
Mhm,
Just really
mhm.
drilled it into my head
Yeah.
like that. So I think that helped me along the way, and it's definitely made me a lot stronger.
Love it. And
Yeah.
when do you think that? What day was it where you were like, I am, Alexis Star? I'm Alexis Fawx.
Yeah,
the star. Like you're like, I'm a star. Is
I'm
what
a
I'm trying to say.
star. I love
So
it.
what day was it? You were
Yes.
like, you know what? I really am a star because you are.
Yeah, I think that was probably, gosh, I would say well into like 2015.
Okay.
Okay.
And I was in for a long time before
Mm.
that.
Okay.
I started in 2010.
Mhm.
So getting in and then taking some time and then doing camming and this, that.
Yes.
And then in 2015, it just snapped off in me that I was like, this is a fucking career. Now we're
Wow.
going to take it. Where do we want to go with
Oh my
this?
God.
I don't know. It was just like
Wow.
this whole like shift I had in my
Mhm.
life.
Got it. Love it.
And it was
is-
good for me.
And is that like when you started marketing yourself more and
Marketing
starting
myself more
everything
and coming out to LA more
Yeah,
and getting an
got it.
agent out
Oh,
here. So I had an
fantastic.
agent for a really long time. And I
Nice.
liked having an agent
Mhm.
because it helped field a lot of the calls.
Yes.
Again, everybody's experience with an agent is going to be different.
Of
And that
course.
can be in
Mhm.
every industry, okay?
Right. Yes. Yes.
Every
Exactly.
industry has
That's
its
true.
pros and cons.
Very much so. Yes. Yes.
And so, so I had that. And I just went balls to the wall with it.
Mhm.
I was
Love
like,
it.
nothing is going to stop me. Nothing's going to hold me back anymore.
Wow.
Nothing's going to, now I've worked on myself long enough and I feel very confident in who I am in my own skin.
Yes.
Let's move this forward.
Amazing. Amazing.
But I needed that time.
Yeah.
I needed
Oh
that
yeah,
time.
5 years seems about right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I've been in real estate for about 8 years, 20 years for him. But
Yeah.
at one
22.
point, right? At one point, we were like, okay, like
We
we
were.
are one of the main realtors going on, or one of the main. I think at one point, Mr. Eli was a loan officer years back, where he was in the top 3 of all of America.
Yeah.
So again, it's like. It takes years though, and like you said, you needed that
And
time.
perfecting your craft and getting more comfortable with yourself on
Absolutely.
camera and
Mhm.
like who is this Alexis Fawx?
Right.
What makes me uniquely different than
Love that.
someone
Yes.
else that's in this industry that's in the same milfy type of
Yeah.
category and
Yeah,
everything? Who is
right.
Alexis Fawx? I had
Got
to
it.
create who she was and where do I want to take her?
Yeah.
And social media has made it so much easier for all of us to be ourselves too.
Yeah.
I mean, you
Yeah.
can. I mean, the glitter, the glam, what do
Right.
they call the filters?
Yes,
You
it
can do
helps.
everything
It
you
helps.
want to- It helps
And
out
I
with you.
I gotta say though, with social media, I really try to, and I've always really, even when I was camming or anything, I always try to be super authentic with my fans.
I love
Oh,
that.
good.
That's why you'll see like on my social media, I barely brush my hair in the morning doing those
I
reels.
love
I'm
it.
like, oh, I'm
I
having
love
a
it.
coffee. Let's get this.
Those are
reels
my
underway.
favorite ones. I'm like having
I'll find
coffee
a
with
funny-
you.
Yes,
I'm like,
perfect.
I look the same right now.
Find
So-
a funny little thing and I do it because
Yes.
I found early on, especially when I was camming, because I had a lot of European
Okay.
clients,
Okay.
and I would get up. I get up early. So
Uh-huh.
what do I do when I'm
Mhm.
having my coffee? I would
Mhm.
jump online, but I would jump
Mhm.
online just first thing.
Love it.
Hey,
Oh
I'm
my
brushing my teeth with
gosh.
these guys, and
Wow.
because I was just being so human,
Right.
Uh-huh.
that's how my fans know
Oh
me.
my gosh.
Wow.
So I
love
think that quirkiness and me trying to
Yeah.
be myself, and trust me, you can post all day about your life without posting everything about your life.
That's
Right.
so
So
true.
you may think you know, and you
Yes.
wear, oh, she must be
Right.
here, you must be
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Probably not even
Oh
there
yeah.
anymore.
Definitely.
You know?
Yeah. Exactly. Right. Right. Yeah.
Probably left there 2 days ago.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
So-
and Sorry, we always have so many questions.
Like it's all in our head.
Yeah, you can ask me
You're so unique, and you know, especially like with the shoes and your style, we love it. So, and also you have to give us some tips on your beauty secrets, because we're not gonna tell you her age, but she's like 22. So, however you can keep like our faces young, you're gonna have to tell us. So, what are your beauty secrets, and also who dresses you for all these parts? Do you get to actually say, you know what, I don't want that shirt, I want this shirt, or I need these gold boots today? Like, you know, it's so important, you know?
A lot there. Okay, so
yes.
okay, for our outfits for our scenes.
Yes.
Okay, so there are a couple different things. So my scene tomorrow, so how that's going to be shot by Browsers is they want more of a natural, authentic friends hanging out type of gonzo scene. Gonzo means we get to have sex any way we want. They'll catch all the angles. It's not laid out for us.
Okay,
like
got
a
it.
map.
Okay, got it.
Sometimes when we have a script and we have a dialogue and we have like this scenario that we're trying to bring across, sometimes those sex scenes are actually mapped out. Like we want you to do reverse first, or underneath here, or that, da-da-da-da-da. And it's funny because I'll see times they'll put pictures like, this is how it's done. And I'm like, it's me.
Oh my God.
Picture me doing it.
No way.
I think I know this one.
Right. You're like, okay, good
That's
example.
so cool.
So and with with a dialogue type of script, then that might be more of a laid out type of wardrobe. Now, because I am contracted in Browsers and in them as a whole, they treat us very well. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
a lot of times our wardrobe is provided for us.
Okay.
So not these shoes; these are actually got, but I have like fabulous shoes that I've gotten from scenes. I've got latex. I got a latex outfits from scenes.
Gosh, amazing.
Ooh, I've got some really cool things because like they don't have any use for it afterwards. So I'll be able to like wear it again or wear it.
Mix and match. Or,
and like so for the conventions, like I was super MILF. I wore my super MILF outfit, and everybody recognized like, oh my God, I know that scene.
No way.
So you get to have fun. I have fun with that.
Oh, fun.
Tomorrow I get to dress. In fact, when I leave here, I'm gonna go back and my female co-star.
Yes.
We're going to try to collaborate our outfits because we get to wear whatever we want.
I love that.
It's more gonzo and whatever makes us feel hot and sexy.
There you go.
And I will have to say that Browsers does put that in there, that if they have an idea and maybe that's not really your particular character style, you can, we're able to switch that up and be a little bit more comfortable. So, because I don't like my hair teased. So if I didn't wear my hair teased that day, I can say, oh,
there you go.
Teasing.
Got it.
So we have a lot to say. And plus I have been in, so I have a little bit more. I think you always have things to like. Always feel that you have a right to say that what you're comfortable with and not comfortable with.
Yeah.
But especially as you put time in, just like now you've been in the industry for 20 years, correct?
Yes.
People are going to listen to what you have to say.
Yes.
Like, I'm not doing that. And they're like, okay, well, you've been in
Very
you've been in the industry for 20 years.
Exactly.
They're not going to let you do it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So I kind of have that thing going on for me now. But so yeah, it's like that. So I get to kind of pick that.
You get to still put your little spice in it.
Yeah, we can put our spice in it. And
that.
I have to say that, I have great fans because I started out with black hair and blonde hair and brown hair, and now I have red hair.
Okay.
I like to be expressive.
Yes. Love it.
That's just how I show my style and my personal life.
I love
or
that.
my personal side a little
That's
bit.
Eli. He had pink hair last week and then blue, and now it's blonde.
Who knows what I'm going to change it to next time. So you inspire
I think
me.
hair is like so fun to play with.
It really is.
Oh my God, I love
I'm just
it.
scared because I'm like, what if it burns? But
and
that's
then
just me.
For conventions, as far as that, conventions and for red carpet, that's where I really go all out.
Okay.
I love to, and maybe it's from my New York Club Kids days. I don't know.
Okay, there you
go. But when you come to a convention, I want you to have a fan experience. I want you to remember me.
Yes.
I want you to be like, oh my God, that outfit was so dope.
Oh
it was different.
Yes.
So nice.
You're not going to see me in just the typical lingerie. You're not going to see me just in the typical outfits.
Yeah.
Like this year at AVN, I had a disco fox mask made.
Yes.
Oh, I'll show you.
Oh,
it was just
God.
glittery. It was
Yes.
shiny.
That is
I
the
know.
best.
It was
Oh
just
my
like
God.
it was like this whole
Yeah.
thing.
Oh my God.
My AVN red carpet was full latex from head to toe, from the hat
God.
to the
exciting.
bottom.
No way. Oh my God.
Just snatched.
Wow,
I mean, I
snatched.
will
Loved
show out.
There
when
you
it
go.
comes to- yeah.
There
I
you go.
love that.
Regular
I love
days,
that.
I will look homeless. It's fine. I'll look
Okay,
like a yoga
you know, yeah,
instructor. I
right,
don't
right.
really care. I'm
Right,
comfy.
right.
I'm getting shit done.
Yes,
But when I have
exactly.
to show and I've got to come out,
Yes.
oh, you better.
And we're so like
I
that
have
too.
2 stylists.
Oh, yes.
I have one in San Diego. She makes everything from scratch.
Love it.
And she's amazing.
And you
she's
tell
made
her like your vision.
I'll
and then
send her
Okay.
pictures, and she will make it. She has my
Amazing.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Oh,
So if you
wow.
guys ever want anything custom, let me know.
There you go.
And then I have one in
Right here.
Vegas. She is the owner of Foreplay.
Okay.
And I'll go down to her style shop, and we just it's like Christmas in there.
Oh my God.
It is like Christmas in there.
We are
It is
all
so
about
fun.
the outfits. Again, we do real estate and loans, but
Well,
if
we're
we can show
always-
up, you know,
yeah.
we're gonna make sure we show
Yeah,
up.
I
to
mean,
match.
why not? It's your brand.
Yes.
Right.
So they
yes.
can recognize that. They're
Right.
like, this is a brand. This is,
Mhm.
you know, we're coming in. We're
Yes.
going to do this
Correct.
and we're going to take
Right.
this over. And
Yeah.
we're going to captivate you
Yes.
by us just walking in.
Yeah.
You know, our charisma is what we're
Oh.
wearing too.
Yes,
it's part of that. It's
exactly.
our part of our energy.
I love
that's
that.
being
It's
spelled out.
our it's like our signature, but we're also being ourselves. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I feel like you also are yourself, and I think that's
Mhm.
and correct me if I'm wrong, but is that where a lot of your success comes from? Just being yourself.
I really do.
Right?
I really
feel
have
that.
to say, me just like me being me is, I think, is such a true blessing for
Yeah.
me.
No, I love
And
that.
I think it's really worked in my favor.
yeah, because not a lot of people can
yeah.
be themselves, right?
Yeah.
They're just not gonna go and
I-
be 100 with themselves.
Yeah, I don't have to have super posed, super perfect pictures. You know,
Right.
snap one and I'm done. Like
Yeah.
I'm
There
gonna
you
spend
go.
time on
Yes.
TikTok.
Okay. Okay. No, yeah. But you know what? But you still have to tell us your beauty secret. So
Yeah,
like,
okay.
what are you using?
Oh, that was the other part of the
No,
question.
yeah, I
Yeah.
know
That was the
it was
other
a
part,
long
that was the other
question.
part.
Sorry, but I was like, I cannot leave this room without knowing.
So yeah, I have an upcoming birthday, June 23rd.
Oh my God.
And,
Gemini?
Gemini, yeah.
Yeah, I'm on
Okay.
the cusp.
I'm a
Gemini
Gemini.
Cancer.
Oh, okay,
Am I?
girl, let's go.
Yeah.
I'm full Gemini, so.
Woo! I have to
I
show
know.
you my zodiac calendar.
yes,
right
I'm
I would love to,
scared.
yes.
now. It's scary.
I'm surrounded by Geminis.
Right, right. Be
I'm a
scared, be
Scorpio, so-
scared.
Oh, that's good though.
Yeah, I'm
Real.
scared.
We're
I like
here.
that.
We're here. No.
Beauty secrets.
Yes, yes.
I only wear makeup when I'm on a podcast or
Mhm.
when the situation calls for it.
Mhm.
Like if I'm going out, I'm pretty comfortable in my own skin. It's not
Love
saying
it.
that I think I look so glowing and gorgeous without makeup. It's just I'm very comfortable with my own skin.
Yes.
I
Good.
also feel like, you know, it's not something I want on my skin all the time.
Okay,
So I
yes.
think that helps contribute to my pore size
Mhm.
and, you know, not that I
Yeah.
get blemishes. Those
Yeah.
things happen. I'm a human being.
Yes.
But I think it contributes because I'm not always clunking it on.
Got
There
it.
you go.
And I always try to, you know, I have fallen asleep with it on. I'm not perfect.
Right.
But I do try to take it off.
Yeah.
I use really good creams and
Okay.
moisturizers. I have a
Okay.
great esthetician.
Love it.
I have also, I've done the
Yes.
Botox.
Okay, love it.
One of my favorite procedures is CO2.
Oh,
Oh my
God.
God.
Do
It is
tell, what is
gnarly.
that?
It
We've
is
never heard
gnarly.
of
But
that.
I need
all
to
the
know.
fine lines and
Really?
wrinkles,
No way.
gone. You got dark
Who
spots.
and where?
gone.
Because you
Like,
have not one
I need-
line. Like, I'm shook
It-
right now.
I need that.
Thank you, CO2.
Like, oh my God. CO2.
It's a gnarly
we
experience.
both said it at the
Uh-uh.
same
It will burn your
No
I got
way.
it from here to here
Oh,
this
wow.
in December.
Oh my God.
That's why you look
It
so
takes a good 6 to 8 weeks to heal. At least for
Okay.
me, it does.
No, yeah.
I don't want to put any. You could put makeup on. I think at 4 weeks, but I don't.
Yeah.
Like I just want this. It's brand new skin.
Oh my God.
And
Oh,
it
so your
will
skin
it
peels.
resurfaces. So
Yeah.
you're gonna get rid of all the fine lines and wrinkles, any dark spots. It makes you refreshes you. I say do that once a year if you're really. I don't see anything on you guys. You guys are
My
great.
God. No, we're
But,
like ready to go right now.
You know, I'm very expressive, so I'm going to get
Yeah.
wrinkles. It's going to happen.
Okay.
And of course, I've done the Botox. I
Yeah.
used to do fillers and
Okay,
stuff like
okay.
that. I just don't like those anymore. I think with all the other things, it just kind of
Uh-huh.
tightens everything
Yes.
up.
Right.
Right.
But I'm not against it. You
Yeah.
know, I am. I'll say it. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm turning 49 in June.
Oh
I
my
don't care.
God.
I'm
You're,
comfortable
you
in
look
it.
so
Do it,
beautiful.
girl.
Oh my
Say it.
God.
Come
I
on.
just owned it.
Let's go.
Yes, you look so good. No, I really wanted you to tell them because I know everybody's shocked right
But
now.
I'm not,
Yes.
I'm not opposed to getting, if it's gonna make you feel good and
Right.
comfortable, and
Yes.
my face is on camera.
Yes.
I
Of
want
course.
to look fresh.
Right.
Absolutely.
Maybe for maybe for my 50th, I'll do the whole ponytail thing. Who
Okay.
knows?
There you
Yeah.
go. Yeah.
I'm not, I want to look good. I
Mhm.
feel
Yes.
fucking good, and I want my
Yeah.
outside to feel,
Yeah.
to reflect that as well.
I love
Hence
that.
why I want to dress a
Yes.
certain way,
Right.
why I work out, why I box, why I
Right.
keep fit, why I
Yes.
stay healthy, why I eat
Mhm.
right. I still have my fun. I
Right.
love tequila.
Mhm.
You know?
There you go. Right, yes.
It's not that I
You
don't know how to have fun.
Yes.
Right, right.
I have a great balance of that.
I
So I
love
think in a
it.
mixture of great balance, not wearing makeup every day,
Mhm.
eating properly.
Mhm.
I hydrate a lot.
Got
I
it.
do a lot of hydration, and then
Mhm,
I'll
mhm.
also help
Awesome.
out any fine lines and wrinkles.
Yeah.
It helps keep your skin nice and clear. It pushes out your
Mhm.
detox.
Mhm.
And when I do say I have a Pedialyte a day, not always a day, but
Wow.
like in the desert, because
Okay.
in the desert you're
Right.
at least 10% dehydrated.
Oh,
That will
shoot.
wear and tear on your skin and
Wow.
Mhm.
so I try to do all that, but who knows? But yeah, that's
Mhm.
it's kind of like everything.
yeah.
I love
But yeah,
that.
now I do the Fraxel, I do the Clear and Brilliance.
Love it.
I try to keep up with that as much as possible,
Okay.
without overdoing it.
Right.
And I also tell my doctor, like, there can be movement in my face. I'm not a 20-year-old woman.
Mhm.
So, and my fans want to see cougar. They want to see MILF. They want to
Uh-huh.
have a little movement in my
Got it.
face.
Got
you know
it.
what I mean?
Got
So
it.
they're not coming to my content to see 18-year-olds, if that makes sense.
That
They're
makes
coming
sense,
to
yeah.
see the older woman
Yes.
that's going to take charge.
That makes sense.
So if I ever I'm real, you know, I'm like, hey, if I ever come in here because I've seen my face so much and I'm like, oh, I don't like something and I don't really need it, just tell me. I'm going to believe my doctor.
Well, of course.
You know,
Yeah.
if we're like
Yeah.
me going, oh my God, is that
Right.
okay? Maybe it's
Right.
just a hormone.
Not
maybe
even.
it's that time of the month that I'm just like being overreactive about
Wow.
everything. Like, oh my God, my eyebrows are wrong.
Right.
I
Yeah.
love
You know,
There's
any of
nothing
that.
there. Yeah. Exactly.
I'm
exactly.
human. Things happen.
Exactly. No, for reals. Yes.
So I
Love
think
this.
that really kind of covers, you know, but the CO2 is my favorite. I
Okay,
think the
love
CO2 has probably been the most beneficial of like tightening and resurfacing and
Amazing.
making you look.
And where do you
really
get that?
good.
And is it particularly exclusive thing out in a different state? Is it everywhere?
I
or?
think you get that at any.
Yeah.
I go to a doctor. I don't like going to med spas. I
Okay.
feel like when there's a doctor involved, there's a little bit more
Right.
oversight.
Yeah.
There's a
Same.
little bit more insurance. There's a little bit more education. Things are a little held at a higher standard.
Right.
Of course.
Maybe I'm wrong.
No, I
and
feel
it's
the
no
same.
diss
I don't
against
disagree with
I
that.
feel the
any
same.
med spa
No,
out
right,
there.
Right. Yes. Exactly.
But I just feel safer if there's a
Right.
doctor involved.
Yes. Exactly.
So the place I go to is VIP Plastic Surgery
Okay.
in Vegas.
Okay.
But I'm sure if you found another
VIP plastic
facility
surgery.
that does facials,
Right.
fractals, look for places that do lasers.
Okay.
Got
'Cause I
it.
think it's a CO2 laser type of
So
thing.
laser.
Wow.
Okay.
And yeah, I don't like to be under on drugs or anything like
Mhm.
that, but you will need them when you're getting it done.
Oh wow.
Okay.
It is intense.
Oh my goodness.
So I'm like, yeah, drug me up.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't want
Yeah.
to feel this.
Right.
My doctor does a really good job of numbing me and
Okay.
making sure I'm just a little loopy where I'm not going to be
Right.
nervous or,
Yes.
you know, you
Yeah.
don't
Okay.
want to be moving around.
It's
And
intense.
he's really quick. You're going to scab up and
Yeah.
then it's the healing process that's the most gnarly.
Got it.
Because think about it, your whole face is a scab. You can't pick it, you can't itch it, and it's gonna get itchy because it's healing, all that new
You probably have
skin.
to hide from the sun too and from people.
I was I'm so
Yeah.
pale.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I had to hide from the sun for
Love it.
weeks.
So I'm gonna throw a curveball at
Okay.
you right now. So everything sounds like you have so much good energy. Everything
Yes.
seems like you don't even know how much we're learning right now. This is great.
Right. Oh my
Like
god.
we're learning a lot. So has there been a time in your life where it's just you felt like it was just this is shitty. Like my life sucks. It's a horrible time. Did you have ever go through a moment where it was just like I feel like this is game over for me?
I think I've definitely have gone through moments. One of the biggest catalysts in my life left me with no home.
Really?
Yeah, and
Oh,
so
wow.
I've taken myself from like
Okay.
you know partying hard,
Okay.
losing a relationship which left me pretty much without a home,
Okay.
sleeping on couches and
Oh,
stuff until I
wow.
had to figure out some stuff.
Oh my goodness.
I think that was one of my biggest catalysts into really creating the happiness I feel inside because
Wow.
I really had to get stripped away
Mhm.
and to rebuild and it felt like a rebirth. And I know that
Yeah.
may sound like this, that, and the
No.
Oh
other.
no, not at all.
But it was a very it was such a good fucking
Wow.
experience for me, as hard as it was. And I remember crying, and it wasn't just like boo-hoo. It was like the gut wrenching crying
Yes.
that
Right.
just lasted for a
Yes.
while, and I had to get it
Yes.
out. I really think what I was truly getting out was probably childhood shit.
Okay.
You know, things I
Yeah.
carried with me, things
Right.
I maybe I never said, things that
Okay.
you know. I hate to throw in the word trauma around, whatever you
No,
want to
yeah.
call it.
Okay,
Right.
Yes.
But
Right.
like all that stuff, I think it
Right.
was just like really finally physically releasing all of that.
Mhm,
That's
mhm.
great.
And after I released it, it was like a switch turned on, and it was just like it was amazing.
And you're
And I was like, I've got to change. It was
yeah,
awesome.
Love that.
And you're in such a different world now. So from like sleeping on couches
Yeah.
to awards to having a
To having
coffee
owning
shop,
my own home.
Yeah,
owning your own
fantastic.
Yeah,
home, you
to
know?
paying off student loans, owning my own home, having businesses, you know, being a pillar in my community, being a good friend, which is more important. Being a good friend, or you know,
So
being there
important.
for people, is more
Yes.
important to me than anything
Oh,
else.
love
Yes.
that.
You
Love
know,
that.
And it's really allowed me to do a lot of
That's
stuff. But I had to
amazing.
go through that, and I've gone
Mhm.
through like, you know, I had to go through a relationship that showed me betrayal.
Wow.
3 years of I
Oh
was
my
with this
goodness.
person that completely found out was a complete that person was a complete liar.
Wow.
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 So to feel
It's a
that
long time.
betrayal is
Yeah.
a very heavy
Mhm.
thing to
Mhm.
shift through,
Yes.
accept, and conquer and go through.
Right. Oh,
And
yeah.
I think what going through those different stages of my life, and I've had more stages where it's like, ah, shit, you fall down, or those life
Right.
the life divots or whatever you want to call them. shit, I lost my train of thought on that.
No worries.
But we've all gone through those different things.
Right.
I forget where I was going to go with that. Shit, sorry.
No,
It's
okay.
Well, but I can,
back to me.
but I can share that experience. I mean, the reason I brought it up is I'm 45. So to me, I've gone through so many traumatic moments in my life where we've had situations where it's big old things, whether it's legal actions or even situations where in front of problems, because I'm a divorced parent.
Yeah.
We have 2 kids. We have a 20-year-old daughter and a 17-year-old son.
Wow.
So we've been through a lot of situations with my ex-wife too.
Yeah.
And we have fallen on our face. We've picked up pennies from under our couch to pay for
Same.
buy some tacos or something.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, what am I going to eat today?
Yeah.
I guess
Yeah.
I'll get that McDonald's cheeseburger.
Right.
I guess I'll
Literally.
save up for that French fry.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I definitely can feel, and I think that's what helps me keep my feet on the ground, no
Okay.
matter like what. Like I will work like I don't have a job.
Love
Mhm.
that.
I just it's in my grain,
No,
it's in my
yeah.
blood, it's how
Right.
I am. I love it, and
Yeah.
thankfully, I found something I can be creative at.
Yes.
And I'm not just talking about porn, but I can
Mhm,
write, I
mhm.
can do this, I can do that, right?
Oh my god, yes.
But yeah, I've definitely
Yeah.
definitely know that. It's a very humbling, and I think it keeps my feet on the ground. I think it's what kept me very balanced. I think it's what keeps my fans, my diehard fans,
Yes.
you know, we can communicate.
Right.
You know, I know
Right.
what real people are going through.
That's
I'm not
what it
just
is.
living on this
Yeah.
OF cloud, the OnlyFans.
Yes.
Yeah,
like-
yeah.
Yeah,
no.
and by the way, I don't use an
Right.
OF team.
Okay.
I'm very authentic.
That's
Okay,
the
like,
real.
You're getting the real
The
person,
real,
not some
yes,
AI
exactly.
or someone
Right,
in
right,
another
exactly.
country answering.
Yes.
But-
Yeah, exactly.
So, you know, and that's important to me.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
like, you know, I don't know. It's
No,
just
that's beautiful.
yeah.
And also, everyone that got to hear this today, maybe you're sleeping on a couch, or maybe you're trying to get that change for that, cheeseburger or a crispy taco, whatever it may
Yeah.
be.
Right.
Honestly, you telling this
True.
story, like what changed us is when we heard somebody else's story, and now you're sharing today. And I know somebody out there is listening, and they're gonna get up off that couch and they're
Yeah.
gonna go make
Well,
it happen. You
One
know?
thing I had to realize when I was going through that situation, because I was like, oh my God, my world was flipped up down.
Yeah.
I'm dealing with all these emotions that are just finally coming up and I had to
Right.
deal with, was I realized I had to get 3 things in some type of working order. Those things are food, sleep, and exercise.
Mhm.
And if you can get those in some way of a stable situation, okay, if
You're
you're
so
eating
right.
properly, you're going to sleep better.
So
If you're
right.
exercising, you're going to sleep
Mhm.
better. If you're eating better, you're going to want to exercise. And all these
Mhm.
things play
Right.
into
Makes
one
so much
another.
sense.
If one is off, they're all going to be
Yeah.
off.
Mhm.
If I don't exercise for a
Uh-huh.
while, I don't eat, my appetite goes down. Then I'm not going to sleep well. Right? So that
Mhm.
all like
Right.
plays into
Mhm.
other. So my biggest, so when I was like, okay, I've got to heal myself. I've got to get off this couch. I've got to do something. I'm changing my life right here, right
Wow.
now.
Wow.
What do I need to do? And I was like, okay, I need to start eating because I got
Yes.
really thin. I mean,
Mhm.
I was like disgustingly thin.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I need to start eating. I'm gonna start exercising. And I'm
Wow.
gonna start making sure I go to sleep at night.
That's
Wow.
so powerful.
And I forced myself, and I was consistent.
good.
You've got to be bloodthirsty, disciplined
Yes.
with yourself if you want to accomplish anything.
Yes.
Wow.
You've got to have the will. You've got to have the grace in order to get it the fuck done.
Yes.
But that
Yes.
discipline's going to drive you through because motivation is a fucking word.
Mhm.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Motivation is like, oh, that's a cute quote.
Yes. Right.
Discipline is like, God, I really don't fucking feel like doing this right now, but I'm gonna
Yes.
do it. And when you finish, you're like, I'm so glad I got that done.
Uh-huh.
Yes,
And you feel
yes.
good. It's like,
Right.
I don't really want to wash these dishes tonight. I'd rather do it. But when you wake up in the morning, you're not gonna want to do them either.
Exactly.
So just get them done.
That's
Right,
literally
So
right.
it's
Money,
also
right?
teaching you what I also learned, rather than because what I was doing also when I was younger. You try to go around your problem versus going through the storm. I think there's a quote about a buffalo. Buffaloes go through the storm versus going around the storm, and they're out of the storm faster. So if you have a problem, go through it. Just do it. Just as hard as it is, it's gonna break. Like get broken apart, get ripped apart, feel like a particle, feel like shit, and then don't marinate in that.
Of course.
Don't stay there for too long. Recognize it, and then pick yourself the fuck up and move on.
Yes.
You've got to get up and be like,
Mhm.
okay, if I don't like
Guys.
this, I've got to change it. And
Love
only you are responsible for
Right,
changing it, not the
right.
people around you. Your people around you
Yes.
are not responsible for making you
Mhm.
happy. They're not
Right.
responsible for the change.
Yes.
And at the end of the day, when you close your eyes, you've made all those fucking decisions. So make better decisions.
Yes.
Love that.
And the
Powerful.
only person that you need to do and work on is yourself. And the only thing that I was like, what's your biggest goals? What's your goals? My goal is just to be a better person than I was
there
yesterday.
You go. Love that. Love
That's all I can ask of myself.
That's amazing.
Because I love myself, and I know if I love myself more and I treat myself well, I'm going to treat other people with more love and more respect and treat them around me better.
Wow, that's so beautiful.
Sorry, guys.
No, I love that. No, the people need to hear that stuff.
Oh my God.
So Alexis Fawx, so we really want to know, so before we end, and we're going to be ending soon, where are you going? Where's the next? What's the next level up?
Well, tonight.
Well, besides tonight,
right.
Let
me start off with tonight.
We know where you're going, but in the near future, you're going to be, older, we'll say.
25.
So you built all these businesses. You got so much going on. You're an award winner. Air Force. I mean, my God, we can sit here and just applaud all day. Like, my God, you got everything going. What is the next level you see yourself in? Like, what do you think is something that you haven't yet done or may want to do to get you to the new version of Alexis Fawx?
Well, I think I'm trying to, I'm really actually working on a lot of little things now that I've never done before. With the things of changing on the internet and changing even in my industry and stuff like that, getting into OFTV, getting into YouTube, the long and short reels of things, seeing where that, vlog can personality, where I can take that. That's a new thing I'm working on. I'm actually going to start shooting that this month.
Great.
That's a whole new production because I not safe for work stuff. I know that the back of my hand, but that's a whole nother animal. And then also, I think on a personal level, because I have started all these other businesses and I've got other projects that are going to be going on. I am just going to carve out more time for myself to live more.
That's amazing.
God, amazing.
I mean, I do live well now, but I would like, I realize everything around me also. Just take a little slower on certain things and just take a look and maybe mingle in some areas a little longer. And I could see myself writing books.
Oh, I see.
And I'm not saying I'm not doing the typical all about my life book, but I think I would be really good at writing some books.
There you go.
And I mean, as honest as might sound, I think I have a really wild imagination. I could see myself under a different name, obviously. I could see myself writing a very imaginative, colorful children's books.
Oh my God.
Because I'm a gardener, so I can imagine I can imagine a whole little gardening series, where you could teach, about gardening and seeds and the blooming of it, how that there's so much you could translate that into life stories. I mean, look at anime. Anime kind of does that too, right?
Yeah.
So. Yeah, I can see all of that. I don't know where life. I'm so open to life. I'm just here for the ride.
Love it.
Yeah.
Let's ride this shit and
I
have
knew
a really good fucking time.
I knew you were gonna answer it that way too. I was like, nah, she's got so much going on. Like you're still gonna continue doing you.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, it's just really I just want to continue living and I could definitely I want a big plot of land and some side, I don't care, just some little side country. I would love Mexico. I love Costa Rica.
There you go.
I love Central America, to be honest. I love the food, the culture is so beautiful there. The coffee's great.
Oh, right. We need that coffee.
We need coffee.
Little side land on a cliff where the jungle meets the ocean.
Oh my gosh.
Writing little books. You guys gotta come visit me.
We
will.
You, and we're gonna drink coffee and we'll be reading the books.
You picture the book now?
Yes.
Oh my God. I love it.
Well, thank you so much for being here with us today, guys. You guys have to watch this podcast. Alexis Fawx is amazing. You're so fucking cool.
Yes.
Let's be real. You're so
guys are
fucking cool.
And oh my God. So where do we find you, the audience?
Oh, okay.
All of your sites, all of your
sites.
All my sites. My Instagram is Alexis Fawx Live. That's Alexis Fawx Live. That's my main account on Instagram. You can also find my podcast there, my coffee, my reels, or my kind of TV thing that I'm doing. Is all on my main Instagram. I also have a Twitter. It's Alexis Fawx. You're going to see a lot of naughty things on there. That's like the Wild West. If you want more of the naughty, that's foxfans.com.
Okay.
But yeah, and if you want my coffee, which I highly recommend, it's HAF.coffee. We have light, dark, and medium roasts from all over. Hot cocoa and tea, if that's your flavor as well. I'll make sure
I want some coffee now.
Right?
Yes, definitely.
But yeah, I think it's about everywhere you can find me.
Your podcast.
Oh yeah, my podcast, The Highest Fawx Show.
Right.
Yes,
exactly.
Thank you for reminding me.
And we can't wait for you to get your whole comedy going back. We're gonna totally be in the front. And we're just
you let
so
us know. We're
excited
gonna
for
stay in contact. We'll be right in the front.
Yeah, you guys have to come out for.
You can even pick on us, like pick on the gay couple.
Oh my God! Can I tell you a little story?
Yes, do it.
So I actually have a fairly large gay following.
Okay.
And it was like I went to the gay events, and that's when it like dawned on me that I did, and like, after all these years. Because when I first started out, I did a thing called the bait bust, where I played the bait, and I guess the fantasy of getting the straight guy.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So I played the bait. I blindfolded them, and then I got them to do the math.
Wow.
And they would do like blowjob on a bus.
Yes.
Oh my God.
And so so I have a little connect there.
Okay.
Yeah, and I actually I want to start writing scripts also for men.com. I came up with some good ideas.
I love that.
I love it all.
That's
I love just people being themselves and really enjoying themselves. So
Thank you so much.
Thank you. It was such an honor to have you today.
So guys, watch the reels. We're gonna be collaborating on this full podcast. Will come out in a couple of weeks, but it's gonna be amazing.
Yes, loves it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Much
Loves
love.
it.
Bye guys.
bye.